Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. So we switched back over again from the Axis and Allies game, and we're just putting back together the Global War game, Global War 36 to 45. I was in the middle of setting it up, and I was thinking about the game, you know, as I'm setting on my pieces and stuff, and thinking about the questions I've been getting lately. Like a lot of people, well, I always get, but I mean, a lot lately, it seems people are getting more and more interested in this game. And so they all have questions like I did a year ago, you know, like, where do I start? Because, I mean, it doesn't all come in a box, right? And so, like, you look at all these things here, these are all just neutrals. I haven't put any of the powers on the board, just neutrals. And you think, holy crap, that seems like a lot, but really it isn't. Like me, I like to play with little plastic army men, so you see all the different colors and everything, and custom infantry and stuff like that, and flight stands, you know. Really, you don't need all that stuff. All you need is same color for all your neutrals. And if you're like me and you paint, then you know, like I just spray paint. Some guys, they do the nice job with the little tiny little paint brushes, and you know, they got little faces on the guys and everything. But me, I just spray paint, and so they're different colors, right? So you could do that too. But I was like, there's never been a better time than now to actually get into this game, and there's a reason for that, and it has to do with historical board gaming. They got a huge shipment in of pieces that were the wrong color from China. Like, they get their pieces molded in China, right? And they came in and they were just slightly off. Like, the gray is a little bit too dark, and the Japanese color is not quite the same as the Japanese color is supposed to be, and things like that. Here, let me just show you what I mean. Anyway, really cheap right now, because they just want to just get rid of them, right? So here we are at the website here. You've probably been here before. So what you do is you go down here to HBG Battle Pieces, and you go Battle Pieces by country, and then you go to see all battle pieces. And then what I like to do is I like to go to so you got all the different pages. I like to go to the View All. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a French set coming out before we get there. There's only, oh, it's too late, I think. Oh no, it still says it's on sale. It was supposed to be only on sale until the end of last month. Anyway, a big set of French guys, like and real French, not Russian French. So you look at all, you get 16 infantry, 4 foreign legion, and the list goes on and on and on. And stuff that you're going to need for this game that you're not getting in Axis and Allies too. Like, here's a medium bomber here, right? So anyway, like, there's a heavy tank. That's something that you need too. So I guess only a couple of things. But anyway, the Foreign Legion is something that you're going to need as well. But so we're in battle pieces, so I'm just going to go back. And I'm just going to scroll down here. It's near the bottom where I wanted to start. Okay, so just up a bit. Nope, I think it's further down. There we go. Okay, so here, like starting here. Now these are just slightly wrong Russian colors and the Japanese colors, and further down, like, these are the Axis minors. The brown is off, and then these are the neutrals. Like, there's a blue, a green, and a gray, but they're not the blue, green, and gray that you've seen on the site. So what you could do to stock your neutrals is just pick one of these colors, right? Just pick one, because what you get is 10 pieces. Now, you don't get all of these pieces. What you do is you choose the pieces. Like, you get 10 trucks, or 10 soldiers, or 10 medium bombers, or whatever, right? And I've done the work for you because I was setting up my stuff. I thought, you know what, I might as well just tally this up while I'm doing it. So I wrote it all down. Now, Cavalry is not something that you can get in here, but I'll put a list of this in this description box, okay, that you'll need for the neutrals. So that even if, like, you're not going to buy the game now, say you're thinking about buying it next summer when the new version comes out, these things are only going to be on sale for a certain time. Look at $2 for 10 pieces. Normally it's $3.45 $3.45 for 5 pieces, right? So like you're getting this stuff for half price. As long as you're willing to just, like who cares if it's that gray or if it's the other gray, right? So anyway, cavalry is 8. Now infantry is 38. So that's these guys here. So 38, so you get 4 of those. So for $8, you'd have all the infantry you needed. Militia, 20. So you need two for that. And then mountain is 4. So if you were to just use the same kind of infantry for the militia, the infantry and the mountain infantry, and then just get different color chips, or the chips that you can buy with the game if you're going to go that way like I have. Like here, let me just show you here. So there's the militia chips and the mountain chips. Like then you would need, let's see, that would be 62. So probably 60, because the numbers that I'm giving you are at the very most what you're going to need. What'll happen is you'll get down in like 1943 or something, and it'll say add an infantry, right? But by then you will have lost some infantry. So I think that if you were to buy 60 infantry, you would be okay. So that's 6 packs of these, and you would be done with all the different types of infantry for the neutrals. And like if they were all the same color, then they're all interchangeable, right? I don't think you'll ever have more than 60 on the board, and I doubt that you will even have that many. So cruisers, you need 6 cruisers, so you could get get a pack of 10 cruisers, right? And then destroyers, 10. Well, that's handy. So you get a pack of 10 destroyers. Transports, you only need 2 of them for the neutrals. And by the way, the numbers that I'm giving you here doesn't include Spain, because Spain, you don't know how much you need, because people are giving them stuff, and so it's probably better for you to purchase Spain separately. Like I would just purchase the expansion pack for Spain. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's just finish the numbers off here. So the artillery is only 2 as well. Light tanks are only 3. So there's not any Italian pieces in this game. For buying dedicated Italian pieces. Nobody's ever come out with those before. The extra kinds that you need, like light tanks and things like that. Like you can get the Axis Miners one here, and there's light tanks and that and stuff. But the light tank in here and the light tank for the neutrals is almost the same. So if you got yourself a pack of light tanks and you're willing to paint it in the Italian brown, well, there you go. Then you got your Italian light tanks, and you've got your neutral light tanks. And artillery, with needing only 2 of them, like you could get a pack of them because they're only $2, and then use them for other nations as well. Like paint them up for the Chinese or whoever. Like you probably get enough artillery for the other nations in Axis and Allies, right? Except China, because China doesn't give you any, right? But you're not going to need a lot for China in this game either. So the other thing you could just do is just grab 2 artillery from one of the Axis and Allies nations, and put it in. Like say if you had some old gray ones from an older game, or some like you could get the blue ones here. This blue looks like an interesting blue, and the green is pretty odd as well. Now I don't know, I haven't bought these yet. I did buy some of these Polish trucks. Just because I can paint, and I thought that they would work good for Germany. But I've already stocked my whole game, right? So I didn't really need any. And you don't need any of you only need 1 motorized truck. So, you need 1 regular tank, 1 AA gun, a couple of coastal artillery. But those are things that you get chips for, those coastal artillery, and 1 sub. So you don't need much of these, right? Like you just need to buy 60 infantry, 10 medium bombers. I'd get 10 light tanks, and 10 destroyers. And well, you can decide, right? Just take a look at what I'm looking at and see what you think. You can help build your minor Axis. Like they've got tank destroyers in there, and they've got self-propelled artillery, and they've got armored cars, a couple of different kinds of infantry. You probably want to paint those though, because they're not going to be the same color as the Germans or the Italians. And they still do have these sets on sale, but I've looked, there's no brown ones and there's no black ones right now. Then we've got Japanese pieces. Now this would be helpful too, because these are 10 for $2.50, so 50 cents more than the neutrals. But like there's a transport plane there, right? You get 10 transport planes. Well, that could give you enough transport planes for Japan and Italy again, if you're willing to paint the Italians. And also light carriers. You're going to need light carriers for this game. You get 10 of those, so you could do that as well. You could paint them up for somebody else as well. And these colors, they look fairly close to the Japanese. I don't know how close they are, but they do look fairly close, so that it probably wouldn't be too far off. And let me see if here's a Japanese guy here. This would probably not be easy to tell, right? So I don't know. But anyway, there's those, and then like there's light carriers in here. There's jets. There's heavy artillery. There's lots of things in here you can get, but again, you're not buying a set. You're buying 10 of each, right? So there's those things. Then also, like this is helpful. Like I've got, I use those for my U.S. Marines, and you're going to need lots of Marines for the Americans and for the Japanese. So the Marine set's good, and these things are always good as well. You can, I've checked it out. There's only a few colors left, but you can get them in white. But 2 for the Americans, 2 for the British, and then you'll have lots of what you need, because that'll give you your transport planes and your medium bombers. It'll give you some tank destroyers and self-propelled. It'll give you some trucks. Like I thought that, like when I was first buying this stuff, you're thinking about numbers. America really doesn't need a lot of trucks, because by the time they get across the water, they're not going to get very far inland. They're just going to make landing and maybe a couple of spaces in. So you really don't need a lot of trucks. 4 would be enough for them. You're going to get, there's airborne there. That's the other thing there. There was Japanese airborne infantry. That's something that you're going to need for the game. So you get 10 of those. Again, you can paint up half of them for the Italians. And so that takes care of your infantry, right? But there's your light carriers that you're going to need. And most of the others, like there's the transport planes right there. So if you get a couple of sets of those, I don't know, you can ask Doug if he's going to restock them in the right colors. That would be tan and olive drab. I know they don't have them now. Like they've got white, and so you can get white sets and paint them. But if you're not into painting though, then you're gonna have to see if he's gonna do more. And what else? And then as far as your neutrals, I didn't show you the one thing there. So the accessories here. If you get this set here, the coastal subs and torpedo boat destroyers, that's a good price, 20 bucks. That gets you the coastal subs and torpedo boat destroyers for every nation on the board. Like you won't, that's 2 units that you're not going to have to worry about. And you can't buy them in the game, so you don't have to worry about, do you have enough or not? That gives you all the ones that you need. And you're going to need a selection of markers. But, what I'm thinking is even if you're building this game sometime next year or something, right now is a good time to get those pieces that are on sale. And the other thing is the America pieces. I could have showed you those too. Those are in the same place, by country battle, and then all of them. And here's the America pieces here. Now, for instance, you can get bombers. Those are good, and it's the same thing here, but more expensive. It's just usually you have to buy the America game, but right now, while supplies last, like he's broken open a few of the America games, and he's just going to sell the pieces. So you're gonna have to jump on these pretty quickly if you want them. Like you can get heavy tanks there, self-propelled artillery. Like these mechs here, those are different than the mechs you're gonna get in Axis and Allies, right? So for me, I'm using those as the advanced mechanized infantry because it's a different sculpt, right? There's this jet bomber you can't get, unfortunately. I know a lot of people like this one, you can't get it, but this one here is available. But the Japanese, same thing. You can get heavy tank, you know, and stuff. Germans, all of these things are available here right now. This is the bomber I'm using. Let me just show you right now. Let me take you over there. So yeah, this is the bomber that I'm using from the America game. Really nice bomber. It's an ME-264. That's what I'm using for the heavy bombers. And I'm using, look at this. This is a beautiful one here for the American heavy bombers. So you get 5 of those for $345. Normally you can't buy these, right? Unless you buy a big set of them. And then this is the regular bomber from the America game. This would work as a heavy bomber too. You know, if you use your regular Axis and Allies bomber as their strategic bomber, right? So these are the kind of things that you can get right now, and only right now. I don't think these America pieces are going to last forever. And like here, this is the kind of paint that I've been using. This paint here, like you can see the difference in color between my Japanese and the Japanese here. Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing you here. So it's slightly different, but not much, right? You just got to paint it with, get the French side. Got to get some primer on there first. Very, very light coats of each. You don't want to cake it on there. Anyway, so that's one can. That one can did my entire Japanese. Like I redid all of my Japanese. I had to strip some of the paint that I'd put on before, but it redid this whole box here, and I've still got a little bit left for when I get some more Japanese pieces in, which I won't be getting many because I've got just about my whole game done. So anyway, that's where you can get some of this stuff on here. But there's more though. I want to show you. There's a couple other new things here. So let's just get out of there. Let's go to gaming accessories. Go to Battle Bucks. Now they've got really nice money here. Like this is two-sided money. There's the World War I and the World War II dollars. But I tell you, I really like using poker chips. And I worked with Doug a bit on this. Like they're his baby, but he asked me how much he needed. And so I was telling him the numbers and everything. So he's got his own poker chips now. That's the one side there, and then this is the other side, right? So this would be a green H on that side, and a red H, and a blue H. But anyway, the cool thing about this, like I'll show you, let me just take you over here. I'm going to show you the chips that I have. I'm sorry I don't have a set of those right now to show you. But I just, like, you use the coasters that you get from historical board gaming, right? And then, like, you've got your money. It's way cleaner having this money on there. Plus, like, you can see everybody's money from across the table. Like, you can see, okay, there's 25, 35, 40, $1 there. Without even looking at the denominations, you just know the colors, right? It's so much cleaner, and then this works as your bank and your mobilization zone. Now with this, I really like these, and I really like James at I Will Never Grow Up. He's a good guy too. But the thing is, these things cost more money because you can't get enough of them. Like he has made a set now for Global 40. So I think he's probably still kind of short on some of the ones. You need a lot of ones in the game. But you get $425 worth in this set. When I say $425, I mean like when you add up all the numbers, it's $425. Whereas the set that Doug has over here is $600. And when we were putting this set together here, the goal was so that you would have enough for Global War. Now, if you have enough for Global War, then you've got more than enough for Global 40, right? And the thing that I said to him more than anything is make sure you have enough ones, because I've done this before where I've gotten poker chips and then I had to get more and then I had to get more. But with this game here, like here you see 50 greens ones, that's lots. and then you get 20 reds, 20 blues, that's 5s and 10s, and then 10 25s. Most people don't like using 25s. They like the 10s or the 5s because they can break it up. Like you can put a 5 and a 1 and then a tank on top of that. It's easier for them to count, right? I don't have a problem with counting myself. I know my 5 times table, but some people do that. And anyway, but in this game, there's so many little nations, like the communist Chinese, and you know, if you're playing Turkey and France actually gets an income in this game. So you need lots of ones. Anzac doesn't get much money in this game. Every nation is going to need ones. It doesn't matter if you've got a 57 income or a 3 income, right? You need to have ones for those. And that's where the other set was definitely lacking. You had to go and buy extra ones. Now, if you really, really liked your 5s or 10s, you can actually buy the individual chips as well. And like they were $1.25 at the other place. Here they're 80 cents. So that's pretty good. Now remember, this is American dollars and the other one's in Canadian dollars. The other one is $80 Canadian. But also they're sold out now. They're moving their store, I think. And their website says they don't have any chips in stock until next year, like in the new year, January or February, something like that. So you couldn't even buy those other chips right now if you wanted to. If anybody asks you what you want for Christmas and your budget is $100, tell them you want a set of these chips. I tell you, once you start using chips, you never go back to paper money. Like with paper money, you've got to handle it with 2 hands, right? Yeah, but with this, it's all with 1 hand, handling your money. And you don't have to flip through it to see how much you got. You just flip it up on its side, and then you could look, okay, I've got 3 reds and 2 greens and 4 blacks. You know exactly how much money you got just from looking at it from the side, right? So that helps. So there's those, and what else do we got here? You're gonna need 12-sided dice. These ones here just showed up here. There's 12 dice there for $5. I just bought a whole bunch of these ones, but these are a good price too. These are the America dice. They're really nice dice. You can buy all the same kind of dice. Like you could just buy 2 packs of these, right? Or you can get 12-sided dice in a lot of different places. Another thing I wanted to show you is he is stocking custom infantry now. So like here, let's just take a look at Germany. So look, there's I think I've got no, I don't have that set. I got the great coat ones. Anyway, you look at, there's lots of different German sets there. So I think Germany's got the most though. Oops. As with everything, right? There's a French set, I believe. Oh, no, he doesn't have a French set on there. Okay, what else? What does he got for irregular troops? Okay, so he's got partisans. Anyway, you can see, so he's got custom infantry now as well, right? So that's pretty cool. And what else are we looking at? I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to show you. One of the other things though, when you're stocking your stuff, some of the things where you're going to get lots of units, like here, Winter War, although it is kind of expensive to do it this way, but it's fun to play with these expansions though. So if you're going to get into expansions, and that's one of the things that makes this game special, then you might want to factor this into how many things you buy, right? Because look at how much stuff you get there. You get a bunch of Russians, and the white ones there, you get a bunch of Finnish guys, right? So there's that, and then also the Turkey one. Turkey you're going to get, like that's the whole country right there, right? Of stuff that you're going to get, right? But the Spanish one for sure, and it's not in stock right now. But the Spanish one, you get tons of stuff. Here, I'll just show you in the box what you get, because that was one I got recently. So look, I actually made my own little sticker and put it on there. So you get all of this stuff with the Spanish stuff. You don't get the nice roundels though, like these nice roundels. You get cardboard roundels. But you can get a set of these, like you get 5 of these and 5 of these ones for the $6 that you normally get for 10 roundels. So it's not just these, it's the ones that are on the board as well, right? So you get a ton of stuff for them. But they're not, the Russians aren't that color. What they are is this plum color here, which is kind of a cool color anyway, because that's not like anything else on the board, right? I've painted mine this color because that's close to the Russian, right? It's not quite Russian, but it looks almost Russian, and so that's why I've painted it that color. And so that's about it, I think, that I wanted to show you today. There's some cool new stuff on there, and there's some really cheap stuff. Good time to build the game. There's not much else that you need if you buy those things. Like you're still going to need a couple of factories for the miners. There's, I think, 3 factories, but I mean, whatever you're using for factories is what you're going to use, right? Like I'm just using these, and I've spray painted them, right? There's one up in up in Poland there, and there's also one over in Brazil. So that's it for the factories. But yeah, it wouldn't take much to build these guys. And the other set that there's a bunch of is the Netherlands too. Like you get the Netherlands at war, and you get a whole set of them there. But that's it really for the sets that you're gonna get. The rest you have to put together yourself. But like I said though, you could do it all in one color if you want. You don't have to do it all in multicolors like I have. And you Finnish guys don't have to have skis on. I just like playing with plastic army men. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.